So let's have a look at the collision tab and what sort of collision possibilities there are to Particle Playground. The collision settings here, you can enable if particles should look for collision. Let's add a sphere there with a collider and just check that it's at the correct position in scene. And let's have the particle system kind of rotated towards it. And you'll see that it will find the collider from the object here. And there are two different types of finding these colliders inside a scene. You can use physics 3D and physics 2D if you were to have a 2D collider inside a scene. You can mask out which objects should be found. You can collide with rigid bodies, basically the same behavior as in the shuriken. You can inverse the rigid body collision for the rigid bodies, how the force will apply to the rigid body. The mass will determine how much the rigid body is affected. The collision radius will tell how big a particle actually is when colliding. If the particles should have lifetime loss when they collide, and how bouncy they should be. And then you have something called random bounce as well, where you can offset the bouncing randomly based from the normal it hits on the object, and bounce in a random direction here. Basically this is kind of good for if you want to make popcorn or something, I suppose, or just simulate a uneven surface. And then there are collision planes, which can be created by transforms inside the scene. Let's create a new transform there. And as you'll see, the transform was a bit high to our particle system setup there. So these are infinite planes, and you can have a lot of these just to constrain particles to inside a room or something like that. And this is the offset from the transform itself of the infinite collision plane. And then you can exclude certain objects as well from the collision checking. The method used is actually ray casting. So this is done on the main thread. It can't be done, unfortunately, in a multi-threaded environment. I would really wish for that, but let's see where the physics implementation in Unity ends up in the future. So let's add that. Oh, sorry, that was wrong. Let's add the sphere there to collision exclusion, just to show you what kind of happens when nothing actually happens, which is the intended behavior there. Okay, so that is the collision. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and thanks a lot for watching.